all the lyrics. I think you can join me when you get the hang of the tune.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome.
Shabbat Shalom.
We've got special books this evening because it is the month of Elul. It is the month leading up to Rosh Hashanah. So in just a couple weeks from now, we'll be welcoming in 5,786. But the whole month leading up to Rosh Hashanah is meant to be a time of preparation to get ready for the new year, to start thinking about its theme. So these special prayer books will help us to do that. We're going to begin on page 7 in our prayer books. A time for turning. To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. Now is the time for turning. The leaves are beginning to turn from green to red and orange. The birds are beginning to turn and are heading once more toward the south. The animals are beginning to turn to storing their food for the winter. For leaves, birds, and animals, turning comes instinctively. But for us, turning does not come so easily. It takes an act of will for us to make a turn. It means breaking with old habits. It means admitting that we have been wrong, and this is never easy. It means losing face. It means starting all over again, and this is always painful. It means saying, I'm sorry. It means recognizing that we have the ability to change. These things are terribly hard to do, but unless we turn, we will be trapped forever in yesterday's ways. God, help us to turn from callousness to sensitivity, from hostility to love, from pettiness to purpose, from envy to contentment, from carelessness to discipline, from fear to faith, turning us around and bring us back toward you. Revive our lives as at the beginning, and turn us toward each other, for in isolation there is no life. Continue now with lighting our Shabbat candles, and the Trimbach family is going to come on up and help us. We're on page 11 and 10 in our prayer books. Tomorrow morning, Zachary's going to be called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah. So exciting time for him and his family, and they're going to help us tonight by lighting our Shabbat candles. We continue on page 11.
I honor the gift of stillness and rest, a day devoted to peace, peace within my soul. On this day, I have everything I need. Peace with those around me. On this day, I seek no quarrel or strife. Peace of earth and sky, green trees and quiet water. I give thanks that I am present in this world. I celebrate the miracle of existence, breath within me, the beating of my heart, the love that blesses my life.
You can take this. You can light this on a short candle. Light the book. And the blessing.
I love you
Amen. Thank you very much. So Elul is the name of the month, but there's a rabbinic tradition that says Elul is actually an acronym where each letter in the word uh, is its own word and it forms a phrase. So Elul, the rabbis teach, could stand for Ani, Lidodi, Vidodi, Li, which that doesn't mean anything to you. It is Hebrew for I am my beloved and my beloved is mine. It's a line from Song of Songs. I am my beloved and my beloved is mine. But it could also mean the name of the month that we're in, Elul. As we prepare for Rosh Hashanah, Elul teaches us that love is at the heart of all prayers, the rituals and the self-reflection. Love of God, love of community, and love of life. Tonight, we're welcoming Shabbat, but we're also preparing to welcome the new year to do that in love, preparing ourselves not by being perfect, but by being open to others. We continue now with our service. Excuse me. We continue now with a moment of silence so that we can enter into Shabbat. We use this period of quiet to help us to turn off from the work week, from the school week, from all that's been keeping us busy, all of our tasks, all that has occupied our minds. We enter into this holy period of rest and community and family, this time of Shabbat. We take a moment now for silence to help us enter into this holy time. On page 22, we're going to continue with Lecha Dodi. If Elul is Ani Lidodi Vidodi Li, I am my beloved and my beloved is mine, then Lecha Dodi actually works really well with that theme. It's a song that we sing every Friday night to welcome in Shabbat, imagining Shabbat as a queen or as a bride that we welcome in. Elul reminds us that our relationship with God does not have to be cold or distant, but rather intimate and close. Singing Lecha Dodi brings that closeness right in as we imagine Shabbat entering into our sanctuary and into our lives as a bride. We continue on page 22 with Lecha Dodi. And when we get to that final verse, Boi v'Shalom, that time everyone is invited to rise and to face the entrance to the sanctuary, welcoming Shabbat. We continue on page 22 with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likakala, b'nei Shabbat nikavala. Lecha Dodi likakala, b'nei Shabbat nikavala. Shamo v'sacho v'dibo echad hishmianu, המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו תפארת ותהילה. אחד אותי לי כלכלה, בני שבת נקבלה. אחד אותי לי כלכלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם יסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לי כלכלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לי כלכלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, כי ore, kumi ori, 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 שידבר כבוד אדוני, עלייך נגלה. לכדותי ככלה, בני שבת מקבלה. לכדותי ככלה, בני שבת מקבלה. Invited to rise. בואי בשלום התרפלה, גם בשמחה ובצחולה תוך אמונה, עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לכדותי לקראת קלה, בני שבת מקבלה. לכדותי לקראת קלה, בני שבת מקבלה.
I didn't tell you to sit down. Please rise. We continue on page 24 with Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
בעלמא דברכותי, בימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, בעולם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, יתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקדושה
Richu.
לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תאמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן.
Page 26, we continue.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך, המבורך לעולם ועד, המבורך, המבורך לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. On page 27, we read together. We call you infinite, sovereign of sovereigns, shepherd and friend. We call you goodness of the world, eternal, all-knowing, ancient of days, giver of Torah, living source, protector and guide. We call you Redeemer, Defender, Father and Mother, Holy One, Blessed One, Almighty and merciful. In sorrow we call you Healer of broken hearts, Binder of open wounds. In days of awe we call you Creator and Judge, my refuge, my light. Fathomless mystery, we praise your name. Continue in just a moment on page 30. Page 30 is a prayer called Ahavat Olam, which means eternal love, or what's the translation here? Love beyond all space and time. That's a nice way of putting it. But in Elul, when we remember a meaning of Elul, Ani lidodi v'dodi li, I am my beloved and my beloved is mine. If Lecha Dodi, which we sang earlier, sings of our love reaching out, then Ahavat Olam sings of love reaching back to us. God's love is what's described in Ahavat Olam. It's the sort of love of a parent or a teacher who gives us Torah and mitzvot, sacred obligations incumbent upon us. And before we declare our love in the Shema, which is next, Shema ve'ahavta, we pause to remember that we are already loved, even before we're asked to love God in return, that we live with that love all around us. We continue on page 30 with Ahavat Olam. And before we do, I'd like to invite Zachary to join us up on the Bima because right afterwards, we'll be going into the Shema, which he'll lead us in. Page 30.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Hamcha Ahavta, Hamcha Ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadata, Otanu lemadata. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbenu, Uvkumenu nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, Uv'mitzvotecha la'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, Ve'orech yameinu, Uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavadcha al tasil, Mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Ohev amo Yisrael.
Please rise for the Shema.
Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Page 34. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha. V'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha. Veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha b'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Please be seated. Thank you, Zachary. We continue in our prayer books on page 37. We read responsively. This is a This is one of those special inserts in this prayer book because it's almost Rosh Hashanah. We read responsibly. In everything you do, the mitzvot go with you. If you build a house, there is this. Together? When you build a new house,
you shall make a protective barrier for your roof so that you do not bring blood guilt on your house if anyone should fall from it.
when you cross a threshold, there is this.
Set these words upon your heart. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
When you see an elder, there is this.
Rise before the one whose head is white with age, and regard an elder with respect.
If you hire a person to work for you, there is this.
You shall not exploit your neighbor. You shall not keep a worker's wages with you overnight until morning.
If you have dealings with a stranger, there is this.
The stranger who dwells with you shall be like a citizen among you, and you shall love that person as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
When you engage in holy work, there is this.
Everyone who excelled in ability and everyone whose spirits moved them came, bringing to the Eternal their offerings.
Even when you are just taking a walk, not occupied with anything, the mitzvot go with you. For there is this.
Set these words upon your heart. Speak of them on your way.
We continue in our prayer books on page 40. In the middle of the page, we have Micha Mocha.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neda b'kodesh. No atahilot osef ele, no atahilot osef ele. מלכותך ובניך בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים זה אלי אנו ואמרו זה אלי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יא לה לה לה, יא לה 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 לה לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נרדה בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה.
Then on the next page, we have Hashkivenu on page 42, our prayer asking for God's protection to be over us in the dark hours of the night till we wake tomorrow. May that time be one where we feel rested and refreshed, ready for the next day. Page 42.
This one is from our very own Steve Best, who wrote it. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, lehamidenu, shomreinu lechaim, lechaim, ufasalenu, sukat shlomecha ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Guiding light, keep us safe all through the night. Keep us safe and keep us warm. Protect us from all evil storms. Adonai, our God above, shelter us with all your love. Hashkivenu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, ve'amidenu, shomreinu lechayim, lechayim, ufras aleinu, sukat shlomecha, ufras aleinu, sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai hapoei sukkah shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen. Amen.
We continue on page 45. We read together at the top. Fall of evening, darkness all around us. The 3-year-old wakes up crying, sees monsters in the shadows, and we lie awake for hours, dreading monsters that are real. Eventually you learn there are no charmed lives, no special immunity from suffering and loss. We cannot pray for safety, only for the strength to endure. So let us build a canopy while we can, for the darkness falls on all of us. There is no shelter from the shadows, no protection from the terrors of night, nothing but the warmth of a loving touch, comforting reminder, you are not alone. We continue now with Vishamru on page 46 in our prayer books.
ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
Please rise for our Amidah beginning on page 48.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי אגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. צומח נופלים והופך עולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Continue on page 60. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, ritzei v'imnuchatenu, kachenu b'mitzvotecha, v'tein chalkenu b'toratecha, sabenu mituvecha, v'samchenu b'shuatecha, v'taher libenu la'ovdecha be'emet, v'anchilenu Adonai Eloheinu, v'avav ratzon Shabbat kodshecha, v'yanuchu v'Yisrael mekadshe shemecha. Our praise to you, Eternal One. You bring holiness to Shabbat. On page 62, we have our prayer Ritzeh, asking that God receive our prayers.
Let's say Adonai Eloheinu Be'amcha Yisrael U'tefilatam be'ahava tikabel U'tehi leratzon Tamid avodat Yisrael Yisrael Amecha El Korov Lechol Ko'av Pneiah Avadecha Vechonenu Shvoch Ruchacha Aleinu V'techezena Einenu V'shuvcha Letzion Baraka Amen. Baruch atah Adonai
continue now with silent prayer.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tisim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tisim Leolam. Ki Atahu Melech Adon L'chol HaShalom. Ki Atahu Melech Adon L'chol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tisim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tisim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol et ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב הישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב הישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Our thoughts now turn to those who are not well, people who are sick or people who are hurt. We remember them for healing. If anybody would like to share a name of someone that you're thinking of now so that together we can keep them in our prayers, I invite you to say their name out loud as I come around the room. Robin. Thank you. Angie. Thank you. Mark. Thank you. Aaron. Thank you. Our Mishe Berach prayer for healing can be found on page 77. Mishe Berach Avotenu Vimotenu, may the one who blessed our ancestors bless those who are in need of healing with the refuah shlema, complete healing of body and spirit. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei Cholim. Blessed are you, God, healer of the sick.
Mishe Berach Avotenu Mikor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Yisheberach Imotenu Mikor habracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Last week was my birthday, which means this week is the anniversary of my bar mitzvah. So this weekend is my bar mitzvah Torah portion, but Zachary, I should say this weekend is our bar mitzvah Torah portion, and your mom's, Angie. So there's a nice group here that we're the Kitetse, that's the name of the Torah portion. We're the Kitetse Club. We can work on the name later, I suppose. There's a lot of commandments. There's a lot of mitzvot in this week's Torah portion. There's over 50. 50, do this, don't do that. It's more in this week's Torah portion than any other Torah portion in the entire Torah. Now, they're not all like the famous ones, like the Ten Commandments. That's in a different Torah portion. But there's a lot to choose from when talking about this week's Torah portion. And that means I can talk about what I'm going to talk about without talking about what Zachary's going to talk about tomorrow morning. So we're good. When I became a bar mitzvah, the verses I read, and I gave my Devar Torah on those years ago, was about what's called in Hebrew the Ben Sorer Umoreh, literally the wayward and defiant child. What do you do with a kid that misbehaves? My childhood rabbi, Rabbi Altman, said that's the part he wanted me to focus on. No idea why. And so I did. Now, tomorrow, like I said, over 50 commandments in the entire Torah portion. Tomorrow, Zachary's going to be reading something different, not about the Ben Sorer Umoreh. He's actually going to be reading about two mitzvot, but he's only talking about one of them. So I'm going to talk about the other one that he's not talking about. Of the two mitzvot that are in what he's going to chant tomorrow morning, one of them is about sending away a mother bird. And the other one, this is what he's talking about, so I'm not going to talk about tonight. The other one is building a fence, a perimeter around your roof, a parapet around your roof. Come tomorrow morning, listen to what he has to say about that tomorrow. I'm going to talk about the mother bird. This is what it says in this week's Torah portion. If you come across a bird's nest on the way, in any tree or on the ground, with fledglings or eggs and the mother sitting over them, do not take the mother together with the young. Send away the mother, and only then may you take the young, for you will then have a good and long life. At first glance, this mitzvah, this commandment, Hebrew it's called shluach hakain, it seems minor. After all, how does one stumble across a bird's nest? And yet, I've never been like hiking in the woods and be like, ooh, bird's nest, who wants an omelet? But the Torah envisions such a scenario. And the Torah attaches, so that's one odd thing about it. Another odd thing about it is that the Torah attaches an extraordinary promise to fulfilling this commandment. It says in the Torah, if you chase away the mother bird before you collect the eggs, quote, that it may be good for you and that you may live a long life. Do you know how many commandments in the Torah promise a long life? I know you know. We talked about this together. Anyone besides Zachary? 2. This is 1. The other one is, Zachary, this one. You remember? Honor your parents. You honor your parents, you get a good, long life. Only 2 commandments in the entire Torah promise a long life as a reward. We'll talk about that another time, though. I want to focus on part of the phrase, though. This is how it began. If you come across a bird's nest on the way is what I'm talking about. That's why I was saying, like, never been off hiking in the woods and be like, ooh, omelet. It's not talking about the sort of, farm environment where you've got the chicken coop and whatever. This is, if you're walking along, you're on your way, you chance upon a bird's nest. This is what you do. Meaning, this is not the sort of commandment that you seek out to do. You don't wake up in the morning and be like, I'm going to go stumble across a bird's nest. This is the sort of commandment that just, you might have the opportunity, you might not, but you don't plan for it. The Torah does not say go out and look for nests. It says if you happen. In other words, this is a commandment that, as much as it's about birds and eggs, it's really about something else. What do you do with unplanned encounters? The moments when life interrupts our paths, when we stumble upon things while we're busy or going somewhere else, or something just happens that we didn't see coming until it happened. Because that's where so much of life actually happens. In the interruptions, the accidents, the things that we don't plan on, but we're a part of nonetheless. Parents know this, grandparents. The most important conversations with our children don't happen at planned times when we say, now I'm going to talk with my child about this. They happen when things happen. They happen when things just come up. Or maybe in the few minutes before bedtime, when our children casually let something slip, when we might be tired and ready for bed ourselves, but we chanced upon something. That's when we come across the nest along the way. We didn't set out to find it, but there it is. Fragile and important, and asking us to care. The question is, do we notice? Do we stop? Do we treat that moment with the significance that that time deserves? The rabbis offered different explanations for this particular commandment. Some said that by chasing away the mother bird first before collecting the eggs, it cultivates compassion, sparing the mother bird anguish. Rambam, Maimonides, said that it shapes our character, training us for gentleness in bigger matters. 19th century German rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch said that it teaches limits, that we have, even if we have the power to use the world and consume whatever it is that we want, we actually have to set a limit for ourselves. We may not strip it bare. All of those interpretations come down to this. Who are we when we're on the way? When life presents us with something unexpected? Do we brush past it? Or do we pause to respond with restraint and care and compassion, the way the Torah instructs us to do in this scenario? For me, this connects back to those verses I chanted when I became a bar mitzvah. Ben Sorer Moreh, the wayward and defiant child. The Torah places the defiant child, that commandment, and this commandment, the mother bird, side by side in the Torah. One speaks to a situation where there's conflicts and defiance and families breaking down, and the other one speaks to moments that call for tenderness and protection. Both conflict and tenderness are part of life, and they both can come to us while we're on the way. The promise of a good and long life, the reward for this mitzvah, I think, maybe one way to understand it, is that it's not talking about the years that we're going to be granted to live. Rather, it's about the depth of the life that we live in. If we can bring ourselves to the moment that we find ourselves in, then our life, whether it's short or long, will certainly be full. A long life is one where we notice the nests along the way and we bring ourselves to it. Tomorrow, Zachary, you're going to be chanting those verses along with other ones, and you'll be teaching about the parapet on the roof. That's the beauty of Torah. It doesn't speak with only one voice, and it doesn't have just one message. It can speak about lots of things: the rebellious child, the mother bird, the parapet. The Torah speaks to each of us, each in our own way, with many different messages. As we come across the nests that are along our way, may we bring ourselves to act with care and compassion. Shabbat Shalom. Continue now with announcements. Mark Kunzman is here to represent the Temple Board along with Robin Bledsoe. You can do it.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. My name is Mark Kunzman, and along with Robin Bledsoe, we are representing the board tonight. Happy to be here. Congratulations to Zachary and your family. What a mitzvah, the tradition to continue. TKC's Novels and Nosh Book Club is sponsoring a Meet the Author discussion on September 14th Mimi Zeman will be joining us to discuss her book, Tap Dancing on Everest. You can see the weekly for more details. In October, Rabbi Holtz will be teaching an Intro to Judaism class on Thursday evenings. And after the services, please join us in the social hall for our oneg. Thank you to Robin and her team for providing tonight's tasty treats. And Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Please rise. We continue with Aleinu, which can be found on page 78.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We continue on page 85. Our thoughts turn to loved ones whom death has taken from us in recent days, and those who died at this season in years past. Our hearts open as well to the wider circles of loss in our community and wherever grief touches the human family. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing now and always. This week we are observing Yartzeit for Nathan Friedkin, Nathan Green, Morris Mitzner, David Roth, Harold Levinson, Eugene Liebertau, Jack Zimler, Libby Katz, Brian Welch, Irvin Baker, Martin Tenenbaum, Eleanor Smith, Renee Capoya, Mort Liebman, Rose Winner, Edith Hirsch, Louis Doctorman, and Mildred Unker. If anyone else would like to share a name out loud, I invite you to do so, please, as I come around the room. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 86. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayeh dechol beit Yisrael, b'gala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mivorach leolam almei almaya, Yitzbarach v'ishtabach v'tzba'ar v'tromam v'yitznaseh, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shmei de Kedusha, Brichu, Le'ela, Min Kol Birchata, Veshirata, Tush Bechata, V'nechemata, Damiran Balma, V'imru, Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Osei Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, Amen. May the one who makes peace on high make peace for us, for all who mourn, for Israel and the whole world. Together we say, Amen. Please remain standing. Actually, please be seated. We've got an addition, but it's not going to come for a little bit. I'd like to invite Zachary to come on up back to the bima. We're going to continue now with Kiddush and Motzi. You can find Kiddush in your prayer books on page 12. Page 12 in our prayer books, together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemaaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher litziat mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ava uvratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat. Amen. Chaim, have a drink. Yeah, go for it. There's a line in the 23rd Psalm. It says, Kosi ribaya, my cup overflows. Definitely worth enjoying. We continue with Motzi.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
All right. Why don't you stay up here for a little bit? But between now and the closing song, we actually have something we're going to do because of the season that we're in. We're going to continue on page 91 in our prayer books. On page 91, please rise for this. On page 91, we have our blessing for the blowing of the shofar. We blow the shofar in the month of Elul to announce the coming of Rosh Hashanah, the coming of the new year. And we have several notes that we play. Tekiah, which is whole and steady. Shivarim, which is broken. It's literally what Shivarim means. And Truah, which is shattered. Today is an awful anniversary. Today is the 700th day since October 7th. And we carry the brokenness of that day, the grief and pain that can't be smoothed over. When we blow our shofar, I know that when I'll be hearing Shvarim Truah is some of the brokenness that's been in the world since that day, and the shatteredness. And at the same time, we'll end with Tekiah, as we traditionally do, that whole note, allowing us to trust that even in the aftermath of such a time as that, and even with 700 days where hostages are still not freed, we believe that amongst us we can still find love and community. We continue with the shofar blasts on page 91. Baruch atah Adonai, shomea truah. Blessed are you, Adonai, who hears the sounding of the shofar.
Tekiah, Shvarim Truah. Tekiah.
We read together. Pray for peace in the earthly Jerusalem to match the tranquility of the heavenly Jerusalem. Jerusalem, may those who love you even more. Let songs of great peace rise from your ramparts and towers, from your walls and citadels. Jerusalem, your sisters and brothers pray for you at home and on the way, when they lie down and when they rise. Let peace saturate your stones. Let peace bind up your wounds, a healing of body and a healing of soul. For your sake, Jerusalem, for God's and for ours, we say, peace be within your reach and goodness within your gates. Jerusalem, may you be a city knit together. Please be seated. Yeah, you can sit with your family. Kira is going to introduce our closing song for us.
Well, I think this is a good follow to what we just read. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, build the world with love.
It's on the top of the next page, page 92.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Yadadai, Dai. 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 I will build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. And you must build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. And if we build this world from love, yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Then God will build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam Chesed, Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
There is a wonderful oneg in the social hall.